Back in May, I gave you an early look at what the 2027 Social Security cost of living adjustment might be. The early number was coming in somewhere between 3.9% and 4.2%, much higher than the average. Well, inflation data has been swirling due to the on-again, off-again Gulf conflict, and new data has just come out and the number has shifted, guys. I've got that update. Whether you're on Social Security or just planning ahead, you'll need to know this, that, and more coming up. Every year around this time, I like to give you the early read on what the Social Security Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA, could be for this next year. Because for the millions of people who are already collecting Social Security, this number affects your budget, your planning, your life, okay? And for those of you not yet on Social Security, this affects how you should be planning ahead. So here's where things stand. The Senior Citizens League, a nonpartisan senior advocacy group that tracks this data closely, they just released their updated estimate for the 2027 cost of living adjustment. And as I said, this last estimate early in the summer was that we could see the Social Security inflation adjustment come in between 3.9 and 4.2%. They're now projecting just 3.8%. That's not terrible, and it's a full 1% higher than last year, but still it's not great news. Why did the number come down? The most recent inflation report is the primary reason. The June CPI report came in around 3.5% inflation for the year from June to June, and that's a big drop from 4.2 posted from May to May. Now, what does this 3.8% actually mean for you? The average Social Security check right now is around $1,900 a month, so a 3.8% increase would add roughly $72, $73 a month on top of that. So that'd move you up to around $2,000 on average per month, and that's approximately a $900 a year increase. How much of that will get eaten up by Medicare increases, we don't know, but it's likely to be a big chunk. Here's something most people don't realize about this calculation. The COLA is not based on the general or the normal CPI number you hear about in the news every single month. The one that I just reported came in much lower than expected. It's based on a very specific version called the CPIW. The W stands for urban wage earners and clerical workers. The problem, or the interesting part about that, is that actually tracks younger working individuals, not retirees. And some critics, I would as well argue, it doesn't fully reflect what seniors actually spend money on. Healthcare, for instance, is one of the biggest expenses you'll face in retirement, and that tends to inflate much faster than this CPIW. So far, we're just projecting what the cost of living adjustment will be for next year. Here's how it's actually calculated, though. You take the CPIW for the third quarter of this year, so that's July, August, and September of 2026, and you compare it to the CPIW for the third quarter of last year. So that's July, August, and September of 2025. And the difference between those two is the COLA, the Social Security Cost of Living Adjustment for 2027. It's a simple formula, but the inputs matter a lot, and we're just entering that third quarter, so measuring that is going to be picking up here over the next few months. The official announcement comes out in October, November, so we'll have to wait until then to see what the actual number is. But until then, 3.8% is the estimate today, and I'll keep you up to date on that. Now, speaking of planning ahead, if you're not yet on Social Security, you might be wondering, well, do I even need to really care about this? If you're still working, still saving, still years away from retirement, here's what you actually need to be asking. What inflation assumption are you using for Social Security in your retirement plan? This matters more than most people realize. When you project what Social Security will look like for you at age 75 or 80 or 85, you're making an assumption about how much it will grow each year. Assume zero growth and your plan looks a lot worse than it actually could be. But if you assume a 4% increase in Social Security every year, you're likely being overly optimistic. This is another one of my critiques for an oversimplified retirement calculator, one of those online calculators or something that an investment advisor would do. This detail matters a ton, and you need to know what the assumption is. For us, we tend to use a more conservative assumption, something in the 2%, maybe 2.5% range, because we'd rather be pleasantly surprised than be caught short. My saying with assumptions like these is, I want the projection to be realistic, but conservative. So make sure that you're planning intentionally and accurately, because Social Security doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It connects to all 6 areas of your financial life. Your income strategy, your investment plan, your tax planning, your healthcare costs, of course. The assumptions that you use for Social Security affects your withdrawal strategy and how you plan ahead. That's exactly why we build it all together in what we call one plan, one comprehensive financial plan, so that you can see the full picture with clarity and confidence. Work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.